Just the Tip Tuesday here with
Sam.
This is Sam. Sam is super amazing and super strong, which makes some of his mobility limited, which is not a bad thing, just something to work with. So we have a program here called Yoga University, and in that program we work on fundamental postures like chaturanga, updog, down dog, and so I'm going to show you kind of how we workshop that in the program, and also to give you some tips on how to actually work on this if you don't come and you just want to improve the pose. So go ahead and lay on your belly, Sam. And come into upward facing dog from there. Okay, ooh, I heard your back pop. Nice. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly come down. So where do you feel that the most?
In a good way in my lower back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, not in a bad way.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad shape. So what I want you to do though is slide your hands closer to your hips. So think more like, at the bottom of your ribs. And as you come up, I want you to think about getting your belly button more in between your thumbs. So try it again. So you inhale, push up. Good, now squeeze your shoulder blades back. How does that feel?
Different.
Different? Better, worse, good, bad?
Good.
Where do you feel it now?
In my upper back.
In your upper back.
Yeah.
Okay, so for most people in upward facing dog, we feel it in the low back because the hands are so far away from, what would this be in physics? I don't even know. The center of the load. So if my hands are here, the load is all going into my low back. So we want to think about having our stability next to what it's supporting much closer. So now I'm majorly feeling that in my upper back, and my low back isn't having to take the weight because the supports are closer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's try it again. So have your hands more in line with your low rib cage. Good. Push down through your feet as you inhale, come up. And then squeeze those shoulder blades together. Pull, pull, pull. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a nice shape. And then exhale, slowly lower down. So the problem becomes when we go chaturanga to upward facing dog. So one way we can fix it, just by moving the hands back, but we usually don't lay flat and come in upward facing dog. We come into it from chaturanga. So Sam has a really nice chaturanga. I want you to come into plank. And then let's go into your chaturanga. Nice, and then come into upward facing dog. Good, that already looks a little bit better. Go ahead and rest for a second. So the only thing I would suggest for you, and it's going to help with wrist mobility too, is to have a bit more of a shift forward. So if I only shift here, my hands are about at mid-rib. So when I come into upward facing dog, my hands are probably 3 inches away from my hips. Versus if I shift forward, bend my elbows, now my hands are in line with my low ribs, and now my wrists are almost in line with my hips. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So let's try that again, and think about in your chaturanga transition, can you get even more forward to set up for up dog? What a chaturanga, beautiful. Nice, how does that feel? Honestly,
it
doesn't matter.
feels stronger.
Stronger?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
usually it's kind of like how far can my lower back handle the load, and now you're transferring it to stronger, more structurally
Sound muscles.
sound muscles that I could hold that for a lot longer than I could the other way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the benefits of upward facing dog is to maximize breathing, and if you're unstable, you can't even breathe in the pose because you're focusing on just maintaining stability. So
if it's in your lower back too, you're not going to be breathing, because whenever you feel something in your lower back, you kind of tighten. But if it's in your upper back,
you can let your ribs mobilize. You can let your diaphragm move. Exactly.
It's almost like it makes sense or something.
I mean, shit. The other thing that we won't spend time to do, but I'll give Sam and anyone, and the 2 people watching this, probably hi mom and Peter, hey, is something like a lacrosse ball for you would be a great thing to rest on your scapula. So now the shape is structurally sound, but now because your shoulders are nice and strong, they're so stable that they don't have a lot of mobility. So using something like a lacrosse ball in between your scapula, laying down on it will just help you mobilize that space. Great job, Sam. Thanks. Thanks, viewers. Mom, Peter.